Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Zaggard Test Extreme. It is I, your friend, the one, the only Z, a single Zaggard, and I hope you're all having a wonderful morning, noon, night, evening, whatever time it is for you today. Welcome back to the Dragon's Den, my friends, and it is another wonderful, beautiful, fantastic Fantasy Fridays here in the Dragon's Den. I hope you're all having a wonderful morning, noon, night, evening, whatever time it is for you today. And I started some new bot stuff. Yeah, some new bot related thingamajigs. 1 second, I gotta pull up there it is, the chill stream folder. It's only a 33-minute whatever, but I like it. Oh yeah, that should be fine. Anyways, thank you all for joining us. Can everyone in YouTube and in Twitch just type a message? Can be anything, can be long, can be short. Just type like hello, goodbye, ooga booga, luga hooga, whatever you want to type in. I just want to make sure I can see everyone's chat messages. I saw the first ones when people came in. Midnight Calling, Mists of Resolving. Yo, I'm here. So I saw those ones. I like monkeys. I hate monkeys. If you don't know who I'm quoting when I say I hate monkeys, you're not one of the real ones. Anyways, we're gonna work on some more world building with the chat today. Hello, Mr. Yukino Sarkal. How are you doing today, my friend, my Mr. Snow-covered friend? Creeper, how are you as well? Are you planning to spoom on me anytime soon? Did I forget to change the game? I don't think I changed the title either. Yuki, did you also set title for me? I knew I forgot something. I was like, I didn't, by the way, I didn't change the, whatchamacallit. I haven't changed the qotd because it was either, my brain said, okay, you either make a qotd or you stream. And I'm sure you guys would rather have the stream than just a question of the day for Monday. Make it whatever you think is appropriate, but we're going to be doing some world building, and it is Fantasy Fridays. Here, I'll copy and paste the Fantasy Friday thing for you. Nope. There we go. Let me just... There we go. I toggle Twitch and YouTube, so it should have only sent to Twitch. YouTube, let me know if you saw that. Yeah, that's right. I have a bagel. What are you gonna do about it? You're gonna come over here and try to fight me? Can't. I just ate a bagel. I have extra strength. I have my food buff. I'm carbon. You thought that was a croissant? Nah, it's a bagel. So. Today, we go to work on our little world. As you can see, I have a bunch of windows open for you guys to look at. Here's my hand. Hello. Oh yeah, does anybody know about this? It's a thing I've known, like, I call it the dinosaur hand. Does nobody else do that? Is that just a me thing? More world building Fantasy Fridays, just chatting. I mean, that's good. I like it. It's straight and to the point. Don't worry about it, Mr. Ukester. It isn't your job to think of a title. It's usually mine. Sometimes I do. Okay, thank God it's not just me. Because I started doing that and Claire was like, what the hell are you doing? Oh, none of my friends understand it. I just start doing that. And they'll be like, why? I'm like, it's a dino hand. Anyways, oh, I'm having a hard time focusing today. So we've got Obsidian open. As you can see, I have a very important town that we need to make, named Town. And where I'm planning to put it. because I'm thinking of making a campaign, a campaign that is coming up. Somewhere around here, somewhere here. Maybe I'll even make it this one, and we'll change the name of it. Yeah, you know what? I'll go with that one, because my plan is that this is a town that's kind of like not exactly on the border, but it's contested between North and South Agoria. So there's that. What up, little owl? Well, there's a portal hanging over my head. You guys can't see. It's like right out of camera frame. I'm afraid to touch it because my hand might. Ooh, it's cold in there. No, oof, no, don't like that. Nope, don't like that. I gotta get my hand warmer. Yuki wants to know the weather of Montreal, Canada. The weather is negative 5.6 degrees Celsius or 21.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 15.3 degrees Fahrenheit. Overcast. Wind is blowing from the north-northeast at 4.9 miles per hour. 73% humidity. Visibility 14 kilometers or 8 miles. And the air pressure is 1,011 HPA. Still don't know what that is, but I'm gonna. Yep. Touch it. You won't. Nerd. Anyways, boo ba boo ba boo ba. Oh, my ear. My right ear is like so itchy the last couple days, and I've been washing it. I've been washing it for like a long time, but I think it's because I have like a scar there or a scab that I keep picking at inside my ear. But anyways, so yeah, we're gonna make my next campaign. I'm thinking is gonna be somewhere in between North and South Agoria, and maybe you know a little bit bordering the Emerald Expanse, you know, which we know is this area. So maybe I'll put it right here, yeah. And we will change the name of that later. Hectopascal. Yeah. We looked that up earlier. I remember we looked it up, Yuki. I'm never gonna remember hectopascal because I'm never gonna use that in my day-to-day. Like, I'm more likely to use Celsius and kilometers than a hectopascal. Alright, anyways. So that's our first order of business, is we gotta write up here town stuff. And I guess we'll put it here, so we'll just keep that zoomed in. I've never heard of a hectopascal. Yeah, it's something to do with air pressure. You're never gonna use it unless you're a meteorologist or a scientist, as they're more commonly called. So anyways, I've got the our deck of worlds to help us build this thing. I'm gonna just put that there for now. But there is another little treat from the same guy who made Deck of Worlds. And this actually came right before Christmas, and I haven't touched it yet because I have been preoccupied mostly. Like, if you see these boxes, do you see those boxes here there? That's wedding stuff for later. That's a bunch of wedding stuff Claire got that we gotta look through. We're probably gonna do that tomorrow. But this I have been so excited for like the last 2 years, because I went in on the Kickstarter as soon as it came out, and that was 2 years ago. The Lore Masters deck. So here are cards to help with building lore. I'm very excited for that. Mucho excited. For context, the atmosphere corresponds 101,325 pascals, or about 1,000 hectopascals. To be fair, I don't even use hectopascals either. Yeah, I know, and he's a snow scientist. Hectopascals actually affect him. Okay, let me finish my bagel before we start. Snow scientist, exactly. Lily gets it. How's Texas going, Lily? How's everything in Texania? For that matter, how's everything for everybody where they live? I know Yuki is in Canada. Been too busy to go outside. I hear that. Although I do have a I did have to go to the doctor's yesterday. Nothing to be concerned about. But remember when I got sick? 2 days after I had gotten sick, when I got better, I woke up in the morning and it like my ear was hurting all the way down to my arm. And you know, that first thing you think is like, I've heard that if your chest is hurting in your left arm, it's a heart attack. But then I'm like, no, it's probably not a heart attack. But it happened for like the next morning and then the next morning after that, both at like 5 and 6 a.m. And I was worried about it coming back, so I scheduled a doctor this morning just to check. And then I got a... What's that scan that they do? The one where they put the things, the sticky monitors on your chest and stuff. An EKG. I had an EKG, and he's like, "Yeah, your heart's fine." I always thought an EKG was like more invasive, but no, you just literally lay down with those things on your body for like 5 minutes, and then you're done. Land of the freedom units, exactly. Best part about setting here, important. That does sound nice, is reducing the units to make them simpler. It's raining in Texas? Interesting, because it just rained here last night. Rain is very random in California. Like, very random. There's a reason why we had fires very recently down in LA. My heart goes out to all those people who lost their homes and stuff. Although there are some people who had some crazy takes about the fires in LA. And their takes were like, well, they're rich, so I don't care. It's like, They're still people, and those were still their homes. And I think most of the people who lost their homes weren't like Jeff Bezos rich guys. I mean, they might have had like valuable, like pictures of their grandparents or something, and like just the utter like brain rot online about like when a bad situation happens to people is so bizarre to me. Relatively, you set the speed of light to 1 and give the units of length. Interesting. Also, I got a septum piercing. Oh. I mean, good for you. I'm not a fan of septum piercings. I legitimately hate them, but if you like it and it makes you feel good about yourself, good for you. Besides, yeah, well, that's a conversation for a different channel. I'm not going to get into that because there's too many emotions involved in that and confusing logic on both sides. That I would say, like, so I'm not gonna get into that. If you want to watch a channel about that, go watch like Destiny or Shoe on Head or like Joe Rogan or something. Like, go watch those people if you want to see stuff about patty ticks. The only thing I just wanted to bring up the fact that I got a teeny tiny one. It hurt. Yeah, I mean, it's a piercing. It's not supposed to feel like nothing. It's kind of supposed to hurt because you're perforating a part of your body. Anyways, let's put the keyboard off to the side for now. And let us build a town or a city. Do you want to go with the city or town, chat? What are we thinking? City or town? I'm thinking a city. Want it to be a big boy place. Place for the big boys, you know? Zagina's point, you're poking your body with a sharp, pointy object. Exactly. Do you know where Yuki, you want to know a fun fact? You want to know how I learned the word perforate? You're probably going to be able to guess it because it's like classic degen learning, but regardless, I find it funny. Gotta put my candy off to the side. And then we put it back. Got him. You thought I wasn't gonna eat my candy. Speaking of candy, I have mochi. I could really get some of that mochi, but I'm not gonna resist the mochi. Resist. Okay, let's put this. I really wish I had a better system here. One day I'm gonna have a house, and I'm gonna have like a nice setup for streaming and gaming. And you guys are gonna be like, "How are you getting things done so fast?" And the answer will be, I have room, and you know, I'll learn to be more organized. This is throwing me off. The fact that my, what do you call it? My mouse pad is the same picture as the picture behind it. So I'm like, where does it start and where does it end? But I know the answer. The answer is where my fingers are. Of course, of course. All right, so I'm thinking city. So I'm gonna. It's gonna. I think it's in the grasslands. Where did we say? Sorry, I need to. Let's move this to over here where it was supposed to be. Let's turn on biomes. Oh, this is in deciduous forest. Oh, maybe a city on the edge of the forest. Okay, okay. So it's not Gerstlands. Okay, okay. So let's put that back. Let's go with, that's jungle. City. Wood is an inn. Is there town? The heck is a scree? Hey, we'll go forest instead of woods. So it's a forest city. I'm actually already coming up with, I'm already cooking in my brain. So we'll start with that. With these two, forest and city. Let's put those off to the side up there. And then let's move these so they don't get mixed up by accidente. I found a Dog of Wisdom plush on Makeshift. I don't know what a Dog of Wisdom is, but I understand trying to resist the urge to buy it. I have had to resist the urge to buy a lot of Zelda stuff throughout my time. All right. Of course, was in response to how you learn the word perfect. Oh no, it was from an anime. Typical DJ answer from an anime. It was id ID. Id ID. Honestly, I think id ID was a really good original anime that just because I think original anime are kind of screwed. They have a really hard job because they have to create a new audience and create a show at the same time, whereas a lot of anime that follow manga have a built-in audience that helps build up the hype around it. But anyways, id ID, one of the first villains is a guy called the Perforator, and he's a guy who's going around drilling holes in people's heads. And that's how I learned the word perforate. You expected as much when you said DJ answer, of course. Buy it. Yuki's trying to convince you to spend money, Lily. Don't listen to him. He's a man of snow. He doesn't understand what money is for. He's like that lady in Okay, that's Destiny. in, what do you call it? In the room, where it's like, you owe money. Money? What do you need money for? Money can be used to buy goods and services. All right. I'm going to get 3. No, and then we'll take from the bottom. Why was one upside down? Interesting. So remember, this is a forest city. You know, we'll just do forest, put that back, because there's city and town here. And then we'll get rid of rock. What's my favorite gun? The one that isn't pointed at me. Spend money. Creeper. Creeper. I think I just, I think I first learned of the word perforate in the context of sword guards. Oh, that's interesting. That's a little bit more interesting than mine. Mine is so silly. All right, so do we want to go with city or town, chat? I'll let you guys vote. I would rather go with city, but town is fine too. Mine is a gunblade. Oh, you mean like Squalls from Final Fantasy IV, I think it was? We got 1 for city. 1 for city. That's how I'm gonna do the voting. Whichever one is furthest up. And then if you don't decide, I will flip I'll just go city, because that's the one I want. Let's see who the contrarians are. Oh, right. Yuki's technically already on town. Do we have anybody else voting for city or town? Gunblade is cool, but I don't really care. I actually prefer the Keyblade because I like more mystical stuff. I'm more of a fantasy person than a sci-fi person. That being said, I love Star Wars. I love comic book characters, which they do have fantasy, but it's like so much of it is sci-fi fantasy. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, I'm a super genius, so I was able to create these super nanos, blah 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 blah. Which nano chips or nanobots, whatever, those are a thing. But the way they work in, like, a good example is the MCU in Infinity War. He just kind of goes like this, and it just creates like whatever part of the shield he needs, or shield armor he needs. And then if one part gets broken off, he can use another part of it of the nanobots to replace it. That is a my brain is blinking. That is basically magic. Like it just reforms. Like it's like, oh yeah, it's science fantasy. No, it's basically magic. Like that's not how science works. Not yet, anyways. And then people will go like, ooh, magic. They'll do that. They'll make that quote of magic is just science. We don't understand that. It's like, yes, but that's just an excuse to still call it scientific, even though there's nothing scientific about it. Like the way he created a new element was a little like he just did it because his dad figured out how to do it, but just didn't have the techno. You know, I don't like that is how science works, but at the same time, I was like, okay, really. When I hear nanobots, my brain immediately goes to Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Yeah, exactly. It's like that. All right, no one's voting, so I'm just gonna go with city. So we've got a forest city. Oh yes, because turning paper into a pigeon totally makes sense. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean. Creeper understands what I mean. I heard example of science that's actually just magic is hacking Cyberpunk 27. Yes, hacking in so many things is basically just magic. Like, oh, I just remembered I gotta take my vitamin D. Hello, swallow. Swallow! Daylo! computer hacking in movies and TV shows is always so. Like there are a few that will show what computer hacking actually looks like, where there's like lines of code and you're trying to type, but a lot of times it'll just be like, I'm getting into the mainframe, and it'll show like this graphic of like a cube, and there are cubes within the cube, and they're going into one cube, and it turns like this line of energy goes into it, and then it turns red, and then he goes into another one, and that one turns red, and he keeps going until he finds one, and that one turns green. He's like, I'm in. That's basically just magic, because that's not how hacking works. You would never, like, why would there be a 3D model when you have to hack? How's existence been? It has been existence. It's worse than CP2077 because you can literally set up people on fire through hacking. The idea, I mean, technically you could do that if we ever got to a world where people had enough cybertronics in them, but you would have, like, they would die before they would be set on fire because the cybertronics embedded in them is getting rapidly heated up to where it's being set on fire. But if you had something that hot next to, like, oh, I don't know, your lungs or your brain, you would probably just die from the heat, or you would stop functioning. You would just go unconscious, and then you would just die from overheating. So the setting them on fire doesn't, unless they have like some sort of, unless you're setting a spark and then igniting something inside them, there's no way that happens. Now, hackers could cause things to explode, like a pipeline. This is something that you can do in real life. It's like you can make a pipeline explode, but the reason that works is because you're causing it to you're causing a portion of it to shut off, so it builds up and builds up and builds up, and then the pressure causes it to explode. The setting them on fire is like you could cause like all the tech in them to stop ventilating the heat or whatever, but again, they would just die from heat stroke. They wouldn't be set on fire, unless of course they had some sort of accelerant. That feeling when hacking movies just shows a progression bar. You want to know why they do that? I mean, it's the same reason they show the red cubes and the green cubes. It's 100% for the audience, and that's because specifically, not just audience members for the movie, but everybody would rather see a progression bar. Like, if you go online, right, and you go to open a website, and it opens, and as it's loading, it just shows a circle, you're gonna feel like time is taking forever. But if instead of showing a circle, it showed a circle and then a percentage, like 1%, 2%, 3%, you are going to feel like you are spending your time more wisely. Even if it takes twice as long or 3 times, you are going to you are more willing to wait for it because you can see progress being made. When you can't see progress, it makes it feel like it turns time into this nebulous construct that you can't control or understand, and you just feel like you're wasting time. So when they show the progress bar, that's for the audience, so they don't feel like so that way they can kind of understand what's going on. When you show actual hacking, 99% of people are gonna be like, I get there's code there, but I have no idea what like that backslash does. Like a coder will probably be able to follow it to some point, but a normal human would be like, eh. It's like the way they use guns and stuff in movies. Guns in movies don't work the way they do in real life. Like 90% of the time. I've seen and I've talked to people who have been in combat fairly recently, and they're like, I can't watch action movies sometimes just because like they'll like take the gun and they'll like shoot 15 bullets, and it's like that gun would only hold 12. You can't shoot 50, like, you know. Like they have like just the amount of ammo sometimes is just enough to where it's like that's not quite realistic. All right, let's get some namesakes. Bam. Bam. All right, so let's pick from group 1, the Forest of Pledges. Forest where forces gather. Forest of Early Birds. Forest of Allies. Versus the Empty Forest, the Forest of Gold, the Forest at the End of the World, or the Forest of Lungs? Well, it's not the forest at the end of the world, so we're going to skip that one. So which of these groupings do you just chat like more? And I'll just do that because we're cutting it out anyways. Which of these names? Group 1, Group 2, or A, B, whichever you want to. What are the options? They're right here on the screen. No, not Forest of Gold. Forest. The Forest of Gold. So remember, it's the Forest of Gold. Or it could be the City of Gold. Or the Forest City of Gold. But it's not force. Forest. F-O-R-E-S. So we got one for the Forest of Gold. Still Forest of Gold, okay. The glare of the light makes it hard. Okay, then I'll reread it again. The forest or city of early birds, of allies, of pledges, where forces gather, of lungs, the empty forest or the empty city, the City of Gold or the Forest of Gold. Where forces gather would mean we'd have to make it super epic. Not really. It could be like something in their history. Like this is where these two groups came together to fight something in the past. But since then it has declined and now relations have broken down. Forest of Gold. Okay. So we got 2 for Forest of Gold. So, you know, I like that. I like that quickeningness. So we're just going to go with... Now, do we want it to be the Forest of Gold or the City of Gold? El Dorado. Forest or city? If we go with forest, I have a specific thing I want to do with it. If we go with city, same thing, different concept. We can't encroach on El Dorado's turf. Immediately, 2 people. City of Gold versus Forest of Gold. All right, let's see how much, who else we got. That's gonna... Apple flavor, what are you thinking? Lily, you still here? City of Gold definitely sounds awesome. However, I like the thoughts of the Golden Forest. Okay, looks like we're going with Forest of Gold. Oop, I put this in the wrong deck. Like a monster. Now, no. Let's go with Orijon. I have part of an origin already. But trust me, this works. Especially since this is like near the... Okay, let's see. Bam. Bam. I'm going to read these to myself. And then we'll see what you guys pick based off of limited knowledge. Interesting. Actually, I kind of like this, but shaped by an ancient river. Okay, okay. All right, that's mixing them up so you don't know which one is the one I like. All right. A or B? A or B? Mr. Little Owl. How are you? We got one vote for B. B is in the running. A is in the bottom. A. 2 votes for B. We've decided we're in a city, and we're a city in a forest, and it is called the Forest of Gold. That is what it was decided. For now, we are picking our origin. B. Looks like we're going with B. So, here are the ones you have missed out on. Birthplace of a notorious outlaw. Shaped by an ancient river. Site of a colonial leader's defeat. Began as a memorial. And what we have gone with is origin of a famous art style. Was once a living entity. Site of a famous race between rivals. Site of the oldest recorded culture. So those are your options, chat. Your options. Are these cards you can use to make original stuff? That's creative. Yes, it is called the Deck of Worlds. It's part of a 3-set grouping. There's this guy who makes Kickstarters every year or so. His first one was called the Story Engine, where you had cards that, like, you know, it had like motivation, and you could use those to make a character or a backstory or lore. And then he made a more specific one for Deck of Worlds. And then he also made another one that only just finished at the end of last year called the Lore Masters deck that we are going to look at after this. What are we picking now? We're picking the origin. So, origin of a famous art style. Was once a living entity. Site of a famous race between rivals. Site of the oldest recorded culture. So we have one for living entity. Yes. So we're going to say origin of famous art style is 1. So if you want to vote for that one, type 1. If you want to do was once a living entity, type 2. Site of a famous race between rivals, 3. Site of the oldest recorded culture is 4. Okay, we got 2 for 2. Do we have any other people who are picking regardless? We got 3 for 2. Let's see how everybody else picks. I will give you all 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Okay. Everybody went with living entity. It's good because that's the one I wanted the most, to be honest. Sometimes we're in sync. Sometimes chat is so in sync. It's not just me being in sync with somebody, but it's the whole chat sharing one brain cell. Now, let me see what the book would normally say. The book. See, this is origin. Origin usually would go under the city. I'm gonna say yes. The city was once a living entity. Maybe it still is. By the way, chat, if you are curious about the lore of my Dungeons and Dragons world, go into our Discord and go into the D&D or the world building tab, whatever it's called, and there's a link that'll lead you to all the other links. My brain is brainstorming on how the name Forest of Gold could tie into this. Oh, I have a plan. I have a plan. Now we add attributes. Maybe the city of gold isn't literally gold. It has some viable that contains life. Perhaps that's it. Perhaps that's the idea I have planned. One attribute, 2 attribute. I love the brainstorming process. I do too. Especially when they ran from the skies. Okay. Again, I think it's more fun if you guys don't know which ones you're getting rid of and which ones you are getting rid of for the first set, because I don't want to give you 8 options that are too much. So let's see how this goes. So I'm going to read this one. This one will be option A. So I'm going to read this to myself. Okay, so that's option A. Option B. Oh, you want a yoke time? I can't get my yokes while we're doing this. They're on my phone. They're on this device right here. I'd have to turn off the camera for a second. Okay, so we have one for B. This is B. Make one up. No, they have to be pre-written. I'll do it after we do this, I promise. Everyone remind me Creeper wants a yoke time. I actually have a masseuse named Yoka, and her name is spelled Joke. All right, guys. A or B? A or B? A or B? A or B? A or B and B? Two B's. Three B's. No, wait. Yes, three B's. Oh, hi, Hellspawn. Looks like we're not going to get any A's, so we're going to put this attribute back. In other words, it's a back tribute. So, considered the threshold between worlds. Known for an animal active in the morning. Known for storytellers. Values divergent thinking. Which one of those four? So, considers the threshold between world is 1. 2, known for an animal active in the morning. 3, known for storytellers. Or 4, values divergent thinking. So we've got one for 3. This is 3. So we've got 2 for 3. What are we thinking, chat? Are we all just going with storytellers? Okay, we're gonna go with storytellers. Known for storytellers. Let's slide that under there. And finally, Advent card. We are intrinsic today. YouTube and Twitch coming together as one? What could this possibly mean? Okay, let's see. I'm gonna find one I like. Nah, don't like that. For the Advent card. Maybe this. Let's draw a couple more. See how we like. That one works. I'm gonna go with, let's see, what were they? Yeah. All right, chat. So you can either pick, researchers are setting up an experiment without explanation. The experiment is social, medical, or ecological. The community is working together on an extensive project. Giant building, colossal art piece, sweeping social reform. Which one? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We got 1 for 2. Iconically. We got 2 for 2. Nice beard. Thank you. I mean, I've had this the whole time, but thank you. We got 1 for 1. All right, looks like we're going with 2. Community is working together on an extensive projectio. Nice glasses. Again, I wear these in so many of my streams. They're Gunners. They're blue light glasses. Okay. Now I will look for me joke. Ayah. Did I tell you guys I started investing in stocks, by the way? I found out that there are 3 stocks you should always invest in. They are perfect. They are gold. Beef, chicken, vegetables. One day I hope to be a billionaire. Now I want soup, gosh darn it. Apple Flavor was like... Apple Flavor got baited into the conversation. I'm not gonna lie, he's like, investing in stocks? Awesome. And then he heard out what kind. Creeper's like, I'm out of here. I can't. This is what happens when you ask for a joke time, good sir. This is what happens. You did this to yourself. Quite literally. All right, so we got. We will put away the geeks. A Beldum? Poggers, go catch it. Beldum have a low catch rate. If you get one, you'll get a prize. Where's my keyboard? There is my keyboard. Let's see. This city is located in the Forest of Gold. Was once a living entity, known for their storytellers. Communities work together on an extensive project. There we go. All right, we got the basics of a town down. So let's put all our stuff away. And for now, we'll turn that off. And where's phone? Phone. So I gotta scratch my chest real quick. Itchy chest. Let me just put these cards away so I don't get them mixed up. Things about to get serious because I pulled out the keyboard. Joke's on you. I'm never serious. I'm Zaggard. And let's change that to city. All right. Question of the day. In the picture, who wins the game of checkers, the blue dragon or the red dragon? Depends on the day. Let me look up their names again. Been a while since I checked their names. I had it written down somewhere. It's been so long. Zarbi and Zarfa. Zarbi wins on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And Zarfa wins on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Zarbald wins on Sundays. I'm back after a bathroom break. It's a bathroom break? They have days they win? Yes. So since it's a Friday, Zarbi wins. Lore. All right, let's I don't want to type this up. Okay, it's called I know I shouldn't backseat lore writing, but may I suppose the forest is like fossilized? Sorry if that's rude of me. That's not rude. Giving ideas is good. Okay, so here's my idea. The reason it's called the Forest of Gold is because the forest, the trees in this specific region, right here, specifically here, are the color of white gold. And the reason for that we can get into. But what makes them special is that they have magic absorption and magic resistant properties. And so after many generations, those trees have been made into, they have found a way to turn those trees that naturally grow like this into a material that is magic resistant and magic absorbent called anthril. I'll just call it that for now. My idea was like the antithesis of mithril, anthril. And so that's why it's called the City of Gold, because this is like a very rare material, or the Forest of Gold, because it's very rare material. And the whole city is built around this anti-magic property that these trees have. The city itself is made from the dead husk of I'm gonna put that, and then the sea itself is made from the dead husk of an earth elemental. This gives the walls an unique physical properties. Which we can discuss what those are later, or if that's true. This city has been here for longer than even the writers. And because of this, they have many tales about the origin of the city, the writers, and the Forest of Gold. Now, this next part, currently, they are working on a giant battery energy source made of mithril and anthril. Who's your favorite? The red one, the blue one? I love all of them. I created these characters, so I love them all equally. Zarbi, Zarfa, and Zarbald. I love all three of them. I love them equally. What animals live here? Though we'll probably get to that later. Yes, we will probably get to that later. What should we name the city then? What do you think a good name for the city will be? They have days they win. Yes. I just reread what Yuki said. Let me search up something. Interesting. All right, chat. Let me know what you think of these. Can you read this okay, by the way? Sorry the chat is like so pushed, cut out to the side. I don't know how to fix that yet. How about Marok? Interesting. Here, I'll write that at the top. Golden Lock. Marok, Golden Lock. Interesting. Interesting. Any other thought dias? Thoughts. Queries. Questions. Do you have any questions? That's how we're gonna say words from now on. We're gonna mix words that sound the same together. Let me think. What kind of name could I go with? I do like Glenlock. Marok, I'm not sure about. Well, this is a community-based place, right? What do you mean by this is a community-based place? What does that mean exactly? Currently, I should let you know that there is a Cold War going on between Northern Ogoria and Southern Ogoria. Kar Ogoria and Kal Ogoria. Let me... So North Orgoria, or Kal Ogoria, is currently... they want to... But both of them want to stop the invasion of the Sandal... Here, I'll... let me turn off biomes and turn on... States? No. Cultures. So as we know, the Sandalith Empire is spreading across, and they have already started to touch a bit of Northern Ogoria. Kal Ogoria. Kar and Kal Ogoria don't like what they're doing, their expansion, and they want to stop them. But they both have different opinions on how they are supposed to stop them. Kal Ogoria or North Agoria believes that might makes right. They just need to make a big enough army, and they have begun quickly conscripting anybody into their army, including children. Like the moment you turn like 10 or 12, they're like, you're big enough to hold a sword, you're joining the army. Doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, they have you join the army. Either you join as a soldier, as a spy, as a medic, as a cook. Either way, you join the army. And then, oops, nope, didn't want to move that. Oh, thank God. Thought I deleted it. Kar Ogoria, or South Ogoria, believes that the way that they beat them is through new technologies and magics. So they have begun experimenting on people and animals in, I'm not going to say inhumane, dangerous ways, let's say. They've begun doing experiments, but they only do them on adults. And only people who have joined the army or are, you know, willing. But these experiments are, like, some of them are horrible. Do they get free healthcare if they join? No, healthcare is not, like, I mean, you get healthcare for being part of the military, but Not cool, man. They can't do that. So scientific advancements. Yes, scientific advancements. So one is like, we are going to grow our army, and anyone and everybody's going to join our army. Whereas the other one is, we're going to have scientific advancements, and there's going to be no control over it. You can do the most heinous thing you can think of, and we'll be fine with it. So long as it stops Sandal, or the Sandalif Empire. And see, they think they're in the right because they're like, oh, we're only doing experiments on adults. They think they're in the right because they're not doing experiments on people. They're just teaching them to fight for themselves. And they are currently fractured on how to do it. So they are actually fighting with each other more than they are fighting with Sandal, who has already invaded a little bit of North Ogoria. And maybe even planning to invade South. Just saying. I'm just putting this here so that way they're closer to each other. Military versus science. Exactly. I'm assuming this forest town is in the scientific area. Legally, it is in the scientific area. But because of where it is, it's actually contested. This area is, it doesn't show it on the map, but this area is contested because look at how close it is to the border. It's literally right next to the border. So it's currently contested on who it falls under. Partially because of how they are in a section of the trees here. This forest. So they are actually somewhat influenced by the wood elves that live in this area. So this is where so I have 2 campaigns that are running right now. One, we're going to have we started a little bit of session 1, but we're continuing our session 1 in 2 weeks. The 9th, I believe. Where's my phone's over there. I'm 90%. Oh wait, I have it on Google Calendars. I don't want to show you guys my Google Calendars. Let's see. Yeah, booba booba. Do you guys see that? No. Okay. How do I? Right, month. That was the 25th of January. Our next session will be on the 16th, so yeah, in like 2 weeks from now, I'll have my first session, but then where was it? Monday. Thankfully, she wrote it down. But then on the 15th of March, right? Yeah, on the 15th of March, I'm going to be doing a session with another group of players. And that's where this city is where the other group of players will be. So the first group is going to be in Wildfang. And the second group is going to be here. What's the name that could work? Golden Forest along the border, semi-influenced by others. What's a mineral that is rather divided and unique? What do you mean by divided? Like highly sought after, owned by a few? There are a few. So there's the one that's specifically from this town, the Anthril. Then there's also Moonstone and Mithril, of course. Adamantium is super rare, but there's no adamantium here. Even though, here, I'll show you the height map. Let's get rid of cultures. Well, actually, no, that does help. So you see this? This is mountains. So this orange area is a mountain range. So there are minerals for them. Actually, I'll keep this zoomed in so we know where we're. Divided as in ownership. That's a good point. Well, mithril is mostly found by the dwarves and the gray dwarves. They own most of that stuff. Presumably you're the one providing more and I'm just existing. I mean, you add in whatever you want. So no, groups don't get free healthcare in the sense. The doorbell just rang. They don't get any sort of free healthcare. Just to re-answer Creeper's question, because healthcare isn't really like remember, this is still the Middle Ages, so medicine, while there is magical healing, that's still pretty rare. Like, potions are pretty expensive in this world. If you are part of the military, then you get, you know, they'll take care of you because, you know, you're part of their fighting force, but it's still spread pretty thin. Like, you're not going to get the best healing. There's still high chances of you just getting your arm or leg amputated. Communism. Tad more before I think about names. What kind of structure style will this place have? That's a good question. What kind of structure or style does this place have? It looks like everybody likes the projects I went, the stuff I went with, so I'm gonna leave that there. Let's see. Yuki wants a life tip. How dare you? You monster. You know I don't have a life to give tips for. Musha. I'll put that down. So here's my life tip, Yuki. Remember, don't worry about the future. Don't focus on the past. Live in the present. If you can live in the present, you can always center yourself. Unless the present sucks, in which case, have a cookie. I forgot to clip the joke. Madge. Oh well. I thought of the tree houses given the elves' influence. So wood elves do have tree houses, but not like tree houses. They make houses out of trees in my world. They sing trees into the shape of the buildings that they want. However, they can't do that with the Golden Forest because it's of its anti-magic property. I mean, they can do it, it's just a lot harder. And this is mostly a human settlement. So there are wood elves do have influence here, but not, because this is like right on the border of the wood elf country cultures. See, like right next to it. So it's like there's some wood elves here, definitely. They do interact. Like, these towns are super close to each other. But it's still like mostly human. Great advice. I want a cookie. Speaking of cookies, I'm gonna go on a quick break. We'll be back after these messages. You just build houses on the trees, like how some tree villages stay above ground. And you just however, remember, don't forget, I wrote this. City is made from the dead husk of an earth elemental. Remember that. Dead, we can change that from dead earth elemental. I'm not married to that, nor am I married to the Anthril name. So I will be RB. Suffocating.
And I work for the
Ever feel like there's no escape from that crushing feeling in your chest? Then
Hello,
your doctor.
My name is Dr. Foe, and I work for the Paranormal Entertainment, Neurological, and Intelligence Studies. There is a new disease sweeping the nation that affects ones of Americans per day. This new disease is known as dainbermage. Do not be alarmed, we know the cause of this dainbermage. You can get it from many sources such as watching TikTok, reading YouTube comments, watching bad TV shows or movies, reading fan fiction, engaging with social media, and many other sources found on the internet. This disease is highly contagious and can spread from person to person. You will know if you have the dainbermage if you are experiencing symptoms such as commenting on videos on the internet, commenting on social media posts, talking in live stream chats, browsing sources such as Tumblr or Reddit, and any activity that requires you to connect on social media with strangers. If you do have dainbermage, contact your local PNIS office, and an agent will immediately come to slow the effects of the dainbermage. If an agent is not able to come to get you in 24 hours, do not be alarmed. You can begin self-medication. One of the forms of self-medication is watching Zaggard on twitch.tv or the YouTubes. We have discovered that dainbermage is slowed by the element known as cringe. As you can see by the state-of-the-art presentation on your screen, the cringe waves released from your monitor and speakers create a temporary shield to protect your brain from the dainbermage. However, there is no known cure, so you must continue to medicate once per week to protect yourself from its dangerous effects. This has been a PSA by Paranormal Entertainment, Neurological, and Intelligence Studies. Remember, dainbermage.
Dang, apple flavor, you be cooking, brother. You be cooking. Yeah, let's see where rivers. That's rulers. So you see these lines? These are rivers. So the closest river starts or ends here. I mean, I could change that. I think I like it like that better. Do you have dainbermage? Of course I have dainbermage. Will I be spoiled here? Lol. No, we're actually... So your town is all the way over here. Your town is all the way over here. Your story is going to mostly be in this region. This is for another group of players who want to play. So you guys are here. They're here. Oh, good, good. In fact, you might even be allowed to take some of this information and use it for your like it might come up. The information we're talking about here might come up. So it might be pertinent for you to know it. That reminds me, I put in I made a specialized weapon for you. That's pretty meta though, unless it's okay for my character to know. Where's your character from again? Where's your character from? Like what region? Songy is one of my players, everyone. Say hi. Here, I'll show you the cultures map. Here we go, cultures. Hello, person. What kind of weather is there around here? That's a good question. Let's see what the precipitation is like. It's fairly rainy, it looks like. Looks like it rains fairly frequently. These blue dots are the precipitation. I had to check. Emerald Expanse. Oh, you're actually super close. Let me turn off precipitation because that does lag it down a bit. Hello, Apple Teeny friend. Songy, are you Asian? No, she's... I was gonna make... Sam, do you make it? Do you mind if I make a joke? Brother, please, lol. No, she's Chinese. She can't be Asian. I hate you. I knew you would say that. I knew you would say that. I have known people who have actually said that before, though. Like, I've met people who are like, oh my god, are you Asian? Well, I'm Thai. Oh my god, I thought you were Chinese. I thought you were Asian. It's like, oh my god. So the same... I like Chinese food. Why am I asking so much about one town to make a town? Why not? So you're from here. Somewhere here. So you're like right next to the border. You would know what's going on here, so I can actually tell you. Or you might have heard whispers. Since you're a demonkin, you've probably heard whispers from the Wood Elves talking about the humans to the west have been fighting with each other. See, this region is Orgoria, and this is Cal Orgoria and Car Orgoria, or north and south. And North Orgoria It's currently, you see this red, this little bit of red on the blue? Well, that's from this place, the Sandalith Empire. Remember how I said the Angelborn are slowly spreading? This is how much of the world they've already conquered. They used to just have a region only this big. Now they basically, there used to be like other countries here and here and here and here. They took them over. They took them over. They completely took them over. In fact, some of this used to be Grey Dwarf territory, and it's not anymore. And this area, Anor, used to actually spread all the way to here, but they pushed them out. And they've spread out. They, gone past the North Krakus, and they've taken a little bit over of Calorgoria. And the Agorians don't like it. They don't like this forced expansion of the Sandalith Empire. Nobody likes it, but the Agorians hate it the most, probably. But Agoria is currently split between North and South. And so they have not been able to unify against them. That's why Sandalith has been able to take some space here. And the reason they are one of the reasons they're fighting is, how do they fight against it? The North believes they should draft everyone into their army. If you are old enough to hold a sword, you are old enough to fight. Man, woman, child. Like at the age of 10 or 12, you'll be drafted. You might not be a frontline soldier, but you'll be in the army. And the South is like, oh my God, those barbarians. They are incorporating children into their fighting, and all they do is fight. They don't use their brains. We are doing experiments to create new magic, scientific experiments to help us win this war, to stop them. Powers that the Sandalith Empire could never understand. However, to do that, they're doing extreme inhumane experiments on people. However, their rule is only on adults. That's why they're like, the Northerners are barbaric. They're only fighting, they're taking in children. But then the Northerners look at the Southerners and think they're monstrosities, like based on some of the stuff they've done. So you would know that these two are fighting, and that this town right here sits right next to the border and is currently contested. This isn't a permanent name, but this town is being contested, and that's the town we're working on. Only on adults. Glad they have some morals. Yeah, but when you hear some of the experiments they've done, you're gonna be like, what the hell? Hint, hint. There may be some lore updates in the future, once some stuff becomes public knowledge. But that depends on my players. I had to check Emerald Expanse. Bella's somewhere from the Emerald Expanse, but I kind of made it out so that her village is more not a refugee kind of vibe, but anyone not Demon King is rare to see. Thank you, I love that. It's likely raining, and given it's nearby a mountain, it's nearby, it's fair to say. Potentially landslides or constant amounts of soil and rock can be transferred into this place, mixing with the land to make the fauna prosper, tree specifically, so any form of housing would require to be fairly sturdy or higher up. I'm gonna write this down. Apple flavor. That's important. Ugh, ideas, so many ideas. Too little knowledge to build upon stuff. Yippee, lore. I'm gonna say this is true. It's the dead husk. I'm gonna keep the dead husk of an earth elemental. And they build buildings. They have found a way to mix, to grow the... Oh, so Sam, if you have any ideas for a better name besides Anthril, it's like, because it's anti-magic material. It's not metal. But Mithril is like magic metal in my world, so an anti-magic material. If you can think of a better name besides Anthril, because I was just like, the antithesis of Mithril, Anthril, let me know. Antana. I actually like that better than anthro. Anthro sounds like anthrax too much. I'll put that. I'll put an asterisk there. Anyways, they have found a way to grow the Antana trees with the husk elemental husk to create a natural sturdiness against landslides and what else you said? Also allows the Antana trees to grow even more abundant. Currently, they're working on an energy source made with a mithril and antimana. Oh, that's actually pretty good. How did I not think of that? Lol, ty, I try. How did I not think of it? Antimana. Antana trees. Antana has the property of what are bricks made from? Clay, right? Clay, sand, and water. A clay-like substance. So it's very moldable. It can even to make a rare metal. Concane? I'm gonna call it concane. Nah, I don't like that. Ant metal. Call it ant metal. There we go. No, ant metal. It's ant metal. Holy heck. Got it. Because they're made from trees. The ents. The tree ents. Ent metal. We're geniuses. Antana. What about Antuna? Now I want tuna. I've been having a craving for sushi. Ooh, I found a cheap-ish sushi place in Japantown, by the way. If you guys want to hang out there sometime. My brain wants to focus on animals. I will allow you 3 possible animals, and we will incorporate one of them, minimum. Where at? I've been meaning to go, honestly. I missed the ramen okonomiyaki. Dude, perfect. I mean, the okonomiyaki, the original okonomiyaki place is gone, but the place we found, we were literally looking for it because it has okonomiyaki. It's on the, do you know where Sophie's Crepes is? I mean, you can just look up Sophie's Crepes. You know the main mall in Japantown? So it's on, you know how there's like the West Mall and the East Mall? It's on the mall opposite side, the other mall. It's like me and Claire went there. Let me look up the picture of it. Chat's like, let's talk about D&D. And I'm like, sushi. Classic. I took a picture, I think. Did I not? It's called Kuishinbo. Kushinbo. This is the name of the place. It's like, it's not like the best sushi I've ever had, But for the price and the amount of sushi you get, I'd say it's pretty decent. Wait, the one that was next to the stationery shop closed? I think the shop, because there's a shop there, but it is now what's that type of chicken? Right. What's it called? Not karage. Chicken on a stick. Grilled chicken. Oh, yakitori. There's a yakitori place there now instead. Because the place next to Sophie's was there. I usually got... I know, same. But it's no longer an okonomiyaki place. It's a yakitori place now. I know. I was like, this, like, yakitori is great. But man, okonomiyaki is like such a treat. But yeah, this kushinbo is a... it has okonomiyaki, tempura, udon. They have a whole bunch of stuff. And like the price was... Again, it's Japantown and it's Japanese food, so it's going to be overpriced. But it's like, I didn't feel like I was getting screwed. Who cares about yakitori? Like, I know. It's like, okay. Okonomiyaki, yakitori. Like, if you really like yakitori, good for you. But why'd you have to get rid of the okonomiyaki? It was like it was the first okonomiyaki place outside of Japan. Or at least the first one in SF. It's not so bad. I just checked out the menu. Lol. Yeah, it's not like the best, but I like the sushi. You might think I might just have like a cheap palate though. So I feel you literally could get yakitori anywhere, but yes, I'm with you. Holy heck, finding okonomiyaki is basically impossible. It's like a treasure hunt. But yakitori, like, I could make yakitori. I don't think I could make okonomiyaki. Like, it wouldn't be as good as, like, the chefs who make it, but that's not the point. Yeah. I know absolutely nothing about sushi. Here's the only thing you need to know about sushi. There are two kinds. Sushi and rolls. I'm eating M&Ms, so I'm not too hungry. I have some peanut M&Ms. Anyways, I'm gonna try to finish this before we, because I do want to play some Marvel Rivals. I haven't played Marvel Rivals in forever, Sam. I've been too busy on like world building and script writing. Which reminds me, I need to text Andrew. You're gold 1 now? Poggers. How hard was the climb? I'm going to change it to that. I like ent metal. Alright, fair enough. Okay, first minimal. A worm that thrives off of the place's abundant amounts of fertile soil and highly prefers antenna tree. Does it eat antenna trees? Is that the idea? 3 to 6 feet long. That's a big ass freaking worm. Maybe they have an anti-magic ability due to its diet, though they aren't highly aggressive. I like that. I like the non-highly aggressive animals. Muddlefish, a species adapted from the mud skipper that eats parasites and worms in the mud. They have traits of the catfish too. Oh. There isn't that much water though. Like I don't see any water. Let's get rid of cultures. I forget, is there a lakes? Like there's water, but I'm... Let me see. I'll just say far from water. Yeah, this isn't really a swampy area, I don't think. But I guess... Yeah, I forgot the military button. Military. Oh, this area is pretty cold. Yeah, it's like 40 degrees, 43 degrees. Generally. Okay. 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 Not even sure what that is. Oh, dang. Worms gnaw on the roots. I'm gonna say the worm does. Magic worms, I'll go with it. Muddlefish, not so much. I like the worms. They get their name from the silvery sheen of their skin. Comes from them eating the roots. It is said well, this is fun. I forgot how complicated world building is. Classic. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a name. Okay, let's go with Doherty City. But we'll change this. Dolarity. The city of the golden stones. Naming time. See, that's how you come up with names. You just type in words into Google Translate, flip it around. There you go. Got a city name. It could be a little trick the natives use. People could use sticks and rocks to make these worms emerge. And they take them and cook them. Ooh. Natives of the area use sticks from the antenna trees mixed with fallen rock of the husk city mixed. Did I misspell debris? Oh, I wrote debris, didn't I? Coax the... Their fatty content and anti-magic slime gives them an earthly flavor while also being good for digestion. Sorry from only stating a random dish. Why? Why are you sorry? This town now has a random dish! I love it! I'm curious what form of cloth these people would wear. All their clothes... wear clothing made of a mix of tree leaves and what is it called? There we go. The people of Dalar. I'm gonna go with Daltree. Daltree. That way, it's something I can pronounce easily. The people of Daltree wear clothes made of a mix of tree leaves and antenna. This makes it both flexible yet strong against the natural elements. Mostly they wear parkas or heavy coats to protect from the rain and Are they pine trees or... I imagine they're like redwoods, but with they're redwood with a like they're redwoods with like oak leaves. Yeah, let's go with oak. Redwoods with oak leaves. So they're like tall and large, but then they also spread out really far. All right, I think we're good on world building. I want to go play some Marble Rivals, so we're gonna end the stream there, along with the whitish gold tint. Exactly. I want to play some Marble Rivals. So chat, thank you for joining us. You have a flavorful day. I will have a flavorful day. We've been streaming for quite a while. Oh my god. It has been a long day. I didn't think we were gonna create this much of this town, but I am very happy. Next time we'll be adding people, specific people who live in this town, maybe 5 maybe 5 or 10 major characters, and then a couple of shopkeeps. We'll see how we go. Until then, everyone, thank you for joining us. I hope to see you all next time in the Dragon's Den. Hopefully, I'll stream on Monday. I may or may not, but I'll definitely be here on Wednesday with the Mythology Guy. Until then, stay safe, stay smart, stay healthy. Be thankful for everything and everyone in your life. And the number one rule here in the Dragon's Den: don't believe in yourself. Believe in me, who believes in you. Bye-bye, chat.